Pillar 2, sexual attraction. Opposite sexual energy. This is an incredibly important part of maintaining a romantic, loving relationship with a woman over time. You can't just expect her to stick around because she respects you as a man, but there's nothing really about the way that you interact with her or the way that you go about your life that makes her feel sexually attracted. You have to be able to spark those feelings inside of her and keep them alive. And thankfully, keeping a woman attracted is a very easy thing for us men to do if we maintain our masculinity. By masculinity, I'm not talking about having big muscles and being a tough guy and getting into fights. The thing is, having muscles is a masculine thing, and being a tough guy is also considered a masculine thing. But you don't need to do either of those things to be attractive to your woman based on your masculinity. The most important part of your masculinity that is attractive to a woman now and in the long run is your emotional masculinity. So how you react to her and the world. Can you handle pressure? Can you handle challenging situations? Or do you crack under pressure and begin to whine and complain and feel like a victim when you are faced with challenging situations? Do you turn to her for support and need her to comfort you and pat you on the back or tell you that everything's going to be okay and be your comfort and support system? Does she need to take on a more masculine role where she lifts you up and keeps you feeling strong, or do you always remain strong no matter what? So what you need to do is make sure that you always have the opposite sexual energy to her, and that opposite sexual energy is you being masculine. Women prefer men who are masculine, right? They want to be in the feminine position. So for you and her to feel sexually attracted to each other now and in the long run, there needs to be a clear contrast between your sexual energy and hers. If you are too neutral around her, you and her will feel more like friends and the sexual desire just won't be there. If you aren't masculine enough and she needs that from you, she won't feel sexually attracted. She might love you as a person and care about you as a person, but the sexual urge just won't be there. If she isn't feminine enough around you, for example, she thinks, talks, behaves, and acts like a bit of a man, and you can't break her out of that by being more dominant than her, then she won't feel like a real woman and she won't feel sexually attracted to you. To keep the sexual attraction alive, you need to think, feel, talk, behave, and act like a masculine man, which then allows her to think, feel, talk, behave, and act like a feminine woman. When that happens, you and her automatically feel sexually attracted to each other. Out there in society, you'll hear a lot of people talk about how men and women should be equal and they should just be friends and they should be best friends in their relationship, and that's how to keep everything happy and together for life. The thing is, a man and a woman should be best friends in their romantic relationship, but not neutral best friends where the man really isn't the man and she really isn't the woman. They're just sort of like friends who are hanging out, or roommates or housemates. They're just buddies who live together. That is not how to make a woman love you for life, right? I'm talking about a woman being in love with you, being sexually attracted to you, respecting you, feeling love for you. You know, when she hugs into you, when she touches you, she feels rushes of love in her heart. She gets turned on easily. She wants to be affectionate with you. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about hanging out and getting by as neutral friends where there's no sexual spark, right? So to keep the sexual spark alive, you must ensure that your sexual energy is the complete opposite to hers. You must develop into being more of a man than you already are. And I understand that some men who watch this, they're going to be fairly masculine in their career. You know, they might be working as a fireman or a policeman or a lawyer or whatever a man might work as. That's a fairly masculine job to do. But when it comes to his woman, he just doesn't have that masculinity around her. He turns into a bit of a wimp and lets her run the show a bit and doesn't really know how to put her in her place and let her know that she's the woman. Right? It's sort of like, well, she's very bossy, she's very independent, she's very strong-minded. No, you've got to be stronger-minded. That doesn't mean becoming really bossy and telling her what to do and saying, hey, you know, I'm the man, you got to follow my orders sort of thing. It just means that you always know that you are the man no matter what. Right? It doesn't matter how she behaves, it doesn't matter what she says, she's still a girl. You are the man. Right? Nothing that she says is stronger than you, is more masculine than you. For a woman to be sexually attracted to you, there needs to be a clear distinction between your sexual energy and hers. It is true that a man who's very feminine and he's with a woman who's very masculine, they will have sexual energy. They will have sexual attraction for each other because they are opposite sexual energies, and it will attract, it'll work. However, 99.9% of the guys who watch this program don't want to be a wimpy feminine guy who basically bows at their woman's feet. You know, you want your woman to respect you and look up to you and feel attracted to you. You want to be the man. You want her to get down on her knees and suck you off. You want her to be your woman. You want her to enjoy that. You want her to enjoy being turned around and banged from behind. You don't want her calling the shots all the time and saying, oh no, sorry, I've got a headache tonight, or maybe next year, or maybe in 10 years' time you'll get to have sex again. You know, you want a woman who, when she touches you, she feels something. She feels love. She feels lust. She feels turned on. She loves being close to you. She loves being around you. That is achieved with the opposite sexual energy, where you are the man and she is the woman.